Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the lion tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go run and hide. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the lions tried to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the lions tried to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to
And welcome everyone to Nerd TV for another Global Sim Racing League Truck Series event at the simulated Talladega SuperSpeedway, where these drivers are set to go 85 laps around this 2.66 mile super speedway. Sorry, drafting track configuration for, well, the name of it's the No Biggie Big One 225, and that is tip of the cap to today's Cup race, where 28 cars were involved in one wreck. So let's not have the whole field here tonight be a part of that. And stats on the track. It's super speedway action. Shouldn't be too much, but there's a lot of grip on the track. 75 degrees, 72 in the skies. A lot of humidity, overcast. You can see over the turn one wall. A little bit of flag movement. Just a thick gray blanket covering over this track. And 8-mile-an-hour winds, which at 200 miles an hour, that can or cannot affect your truck. So we'll figure that out as this race progresses. And of course, my name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty on the interwebs. To my right-hand side, Dustin Logston, aka Ballistic. Sunday night, sir. How's it going?
God, man, what kind of question is that, man? We are at Talladega, my man. Probably one of my favorite tracks here. As far as I don't care. It's a super speedway. It's a plate track. I'm not going to call it a drafting track. Because you know what? That just classifies it in with any other track that draft even remotely plays a factor in. So no, it's a super speedway. It's a plate track. It's a restrictor plate. But Talladega. Let's hope it doesn't turn out like the Cup race. I mean, the 4 wide for 4 rows deep was crazy ridiculous to see. And I know these drivers could handle it, but the aftermath of that one, what is dubbed the biggest big one in Cup history at Talladega, 28 cars involved in that. Let's not hope that happens today, because that would literally mean that every truck today here at the Global Racing Truck Series would be involved in it. So, but it's Talladega, Jeremy. Teamwork is going to be vital. Pit strategy is going to be vital. You're going to have friends in there. You're going to have a head on a swivel. Avoid the big ones. Side draft is going to be huge. I mean, all your typical things are going to play a factor here tonight.
Yeah, just don't right hook someone on the top lane in turn one like you would have if you're the number 81 truck from yesterday's race. We won't talk about that. Watch that one.
Oh, funny story on that. I was getting yelled at because apparently I was pushing him up the track, and I'm like, my guy, you're pushing. I have no room down below. You're dooring me. I can't go any lower. So yeah, it didn't fare out too well on that one. It was a wild ride for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get our cameras off the screen. It's qualifying time. But it's Talladega, so you know the drill here. It's just ride the bottom for the most part. A little slide up on corner exit just to not turn the wheel too much and lose that very valuable straightaway speed. So, you know, Dustin, you said no 4 wide. You know what? Let's go 4 wide. You know why? It's all about storms this week. I have a Category 4 staring at me directly in the face Thursday morning. So, you know, if I got a storm, I want to see the storm here early on this Sunday evening.
And I tell you what, this is definitely the track that will brew the storm for sure. I don't know, Jeremy. I mean, these guys, they've been racing this a long time. I have a feeling that a vast majority of them are going to take it easy for today's race. They're going to just try to get some laps ticked down, try to get through it, and then wait until, you know, the last 20 to 30 laps, and that's when they're going to drop the loud pedal. That's when they're going to take off, and we'll have to see what happens. I do want to point out, though, Jeremy, and I love this because I love paint schemes. I know you do as well. But Team Whatchamacallit has gone all Talladega nights today for Talladega. So John Howard is in the big red sponsored machine. And then you have Clayton White, who's not out on the track, but he is in the Wonder Bread sponsored machine. And then you got Ron Harrington, who's in the, I don't even know how you pronounce that. Is that Perrier?
I'm going Perrier.
Yeah, I don't know, but
That's French.
Yeah, it sounds French indeed, but he has that sponsorship. And then Anthony Emmerich has got the 23, was at the Circus, or the Laughing Clown sponsorship there, the very first car that Ricky Bobby ran. What makes this even funnier is every one of them has a saying on there. So I don't know what to do with my hands is on the back of Anthony Emmerich. John Howard says, "Hi, I'm Ricky Bobby. If you don't chew Big Red, then F you." That's where that F-bomb would drop there. Like I said, it's great. So again, do you know why I came to America, Ricky Bobby? I came here for you to beat me. And then Clayton White just has slingshot engaged, even though it's throwing me off with the upside down Wonder Bread logo. but he's got the slingshot engaged. So I love it when cars and teams just have fun with it tonight.
I absolutely love that. And you always, bark at me for flipping the logos upside down, facing the spoiler, not the roof camera. And, well, that kind of just shows why you are correct on that side. I love the slow gas. That's such a cool idea. Like,
It really is.
I don't know who on their camp said, hey, let's do this. And then they collectively had a whole team scheme set up for just one race. That's a lot of work. That's probably like 6 hours in Photoshop collectively, just throwing these things together. So hats off to this team. What team, whatchamacallit, for showing up on the paint scheme side tonight.
Well, and to sit here and get, scenes and everything else and actual lines from the movie to match up with the paint schemes. So it's it's great. I love it when they do that. But qualifying action right now, JJ McCoy holds the top spot at a 54.18, the only driver in the .1 bracket. You got Steve Knight, 54.2. You got Patrick Ginther in the 54.25 range. And then John Howard, 54.32. And Bobby Mantle rounds out your top 5 at a 54.35. And Jeremy, it's no surprise, qualifying time super, super close. It's a restrictor plate track. There's not a whole lot that they can really do as far as time. So you're talking tenths and hundreds here and there.
You kidding me? Our Team East Nerd Esports sucks at these qualifying tracks, but at Super Speedway, like, they're like 3/10 off. I don't know what the deal is. Me and you can mimic each other to the thousandth of a second and be 3/10 off the leader. So there is something different to be had out here at this track. And look at the board right now. P1, JJ.
Well, that's because we
McCoy.
suck, Jeremy. I'm just saying that. We just we just don't have what these drivers have.
No, I don't have a pedal that goes deeper than the floorboard. So whatever they're doing over there in their camp, they got it made. Austin McGill saying it was Clayton's idea, Clayton White, in the 14 truck to come up with the Ricky Bobby style paint scheme. So shout out to him. And then Spiff Bob, I think that's the first time Spiff has been in here to my knowledge, saying go Brody Marinko. So we got two, or at least one cheerleader in there now. And I'm sure there'll be more to come. A little quiet to start. I've been spoiled recently with the amount of chat prior to the green flag, and well, maybe that'll kick up. 15 current live plus me, 16 total on the thing, and qualifying's over, Dustin. 13 times out of the 19 entries posted. Now we're gonna go drone to the front stretch, right next to the start-finish line, to go over the starting lineup for the no biggie big one, 225 at Talladega. We're going to do a slow turn. Oh, that was not slow. Guy. Here we are. Here's the lineup. JJ McCoy, P1. Clayton White in second. Row 2 in third place. Stephen Knight to his outside in fourth. Patrick Gentner. Row 3, John Howard in fifth. Bobby Mantle in sixth. Row 4, Ron Harrington seventh. Justin LeBlanc in eighth. Row 5, EJ Luna in ninth. Anthony Emmerich rounds out the top 10 for the starting lineup. Row 6, P11, Shane Wheeldon. 12th place will be Danny White. Row 7, Chad McGinley in 13th. Joshua Slade in 14th. Row 8, Austin McGill in 15th. Brody Marinko in 16th. Row 9, Bradley Miner in 17th. Abram Ghostin in 18th. And Ronald Holmes, last place, 19th. You see the 33 truck past your right side of your screen. We're going to rotate back to toward the pace truck. One pace lap. Then we're going to go 85 laps. Dustin, I'm going to say the odds for betting for the big one, this is going to be probably 5 trucks or more. I'm going to give it a minus 150. What's your bet on that?
You know what? When it comes to Talladega, I don't bet, my guy. I always come out on the losing end of that one. I do want to shout out Austin McGill, though. He is part of Team Whatchamacallit as well, and he has the Me Truck sponsorship on there. Let's see what his. If you ain't first, you're last. So there you go. Rounds out the whole Team Whatchamacallit Talladega Nights themed paint scheme. So love it, guys. Keep bringing it to us.
We had Wizard of Oz last week. We have Ricky Bobby this week. I'm going to go to next week's schedule because now there's an expectation to be had We're going to Las Vegas.
Ooh.
So, do we see dice? Do we see 777s? Do we
Oh,
see
you gotta see,
girls?
yeah,
What do we see?
you gotta see cards, playing cards. You gotta see dice. I mean,
Neon
it's
lights.
oh yeah, you gotta bring everything out there, man. It's Vegas.
All right, absolutely. We're gonna see what they come up with next week. Half a lap to go. Looks like everyone started on the track. No one starting from pit road. And yeah, this is either going to be a crapshoot race, so this is going to be very entertaining. You can never tell Talladega being playoffs. Majority of the field is playoff drivers. The only ones not in the playoffs tonight is Anthony Emmerich, Shane Wheeldon, Austin McGill, Brody Marinko, and Ronald Holmes. Those are the names not in the playoffs. Everybody else on the track is.
And
So,
to
Green-
top that, Jeremy, this is the final race of this round of playoffs as well. So what a gamble, and as we like to call it, a pure wild card race where anything can happen and playoff implications are solidly on the line tonight.
yeah, what a crazy track. What a crazy venue to end a round of a playoff series. And it's not lame. Says, good luck, everyone. Go Bobby. Now, we have to specify here. Is it Ricky Bobby or is it Bobby Mantle? We won't know.
I'm saying Bobby Mantle. It's not lame. It's definitely a big one, but that was really good as we go green flag racing tonight. Clean start so far, Jeremy. And what I'm seeing is a lot of spacing. Drivers getting up to speed. You look at the spacing in between the trucks right now. So this is that playing it safe kind of, mentality that I would expect. But I don't know, Jeremy. What is your guess on laps before you see drivers really start to try that third lane and push it 3 wide?
Since there's no stage, I don't see it happening within the first 5 laps. What I can probably guess is the third row will be started by someone back or behind 10th place. That's gonna be my vote. Someone that wants to get up
you're
there,
wrong.
maybe jump to their. Yeah, I was right. Look at that.
Yeah, but you said it wasn't gonna be for a while because there's no stages, and Joshua Slade's listening, and he goes, nah, Jeremy, nah, fam, we doing this right now on lap 2.
I was 50-50. I had it behind 10th, but I did not have it on lap 2. Slade making the moves. It's not lame saying, you guys know I meant Mantle. Of course you did. Winky face.
Winky face.
Here's the 12 moving up, passing the 85 of Justin LeBlanc, creeping on Bobby Mantle here. And just like that, the 12 truck at the line was 13th place. Now he has his nose in 6th place. And with the 46 of Mantle, 1 of 1, doing some great work on lap 2. Can he crack the top 5? They're going to run all the way up to the 4th groove here. Not going to happen. He's going to be scored P7 this time, so up 6 spots.
Yeah, but I mean, what a good move, though. Like I said, we did not have that on our bingo card, lap 2, 3 wide already. And as this was going on, Clayton White was able to get by J.J. McCoy. So right now, Clayton White leading the way. And Clayton needs a good race tonight. He needs that point, those points to really try to solidify his spot in the playoffs. He's had a couple rough races the last couple races. He was wrecked out last week, so definitely needs something to bounce back. So this could definitely make or break him big time. But right now he's making all the right calls. But look at this 3 wide battle we got going on right now. Still holding on. But Jeremy, I'm seeing that top line with only 3 trucks. They had amazing momentum to get up there, but they are struggling right now. Still sitting right around that 7th spot. Slowly creeping up, but not with the near momentum that they had before.
If they'd have just gone on lap 5 like I was predicting, that'd have been the more correct answer. They pressed the nitrous button too early. They're fast and furious. They just lost their pink slip. They pressed it too early. But they're going to get one more charge though on the top. Only 3 trucks still doing it. Abram, Ghost, and far back. They're not assisting with the push on the 3rd lane. Everybody else in top 3 is 54. Marinko, 46 and Minor, 12 with Slade. Still getting to it. They're back in that 7th sixth place region. Can they get the top 5 this time?
They're still trying, Jeremy. But like you said, it's they got 3 drivers up there. You did have Abram Ghostin that was up there as well, but it's not surprising, Jeremy. It seems like Ghostin is just riding in the back, as is Chad McGinley. We see Chad McGinley back there, Ron Holmes. You see Danny White. I was going to say Dana White. Danny White. He's back there. These guys just look like they're just driving, Jeremy. And this is a typical strategy when it comes to Talladega. Right in the back. If something's going to happen, you have a clear view of what's going on in front of you so that you can sit here and make evasive maneuvers. We have utilized that on Nerd Esports a number of times, sometimes with good luck, sometimes with not so good luck.
Dustin, Las Vegas is next week. You can call Dana White at that point. That's where UFC basically lives.
This is
look
true.
At this. I told you, lap 5 was the lap number. Here we are. He's so close to cracking the top 3. Yeah, a little fault there off the tri-oval side. Not much momentum to be had there. They're going to quickly drop back. Still 3 wide, though, for 7th, 8th, 9th. There goes the 99, making some quick moves. Austin McGill in the middle lane. He's going to pick up quite a few spots this lap as he falls behind the 79 of Stephen Knight. We're 3 wide. We're 3 wide. Now we're 2 wide. Only 3 wide with the 57 Ron Harrington.
Yeah, and Bobby Mantle made that quick move from the bottom line to the middle line there. And that's one thing, is trying to control the draft lanes, is trying to figure out what lane's got the momentum and keeping your truck in front of that lane. So you're going to see drivers dive from the middle lane to the bottom lane, bottom to the middle, middle to the top. It's wherever that momentum is, and that top lane's starting to get a little bit more help now, Jeremy. We see Steve Knight and JJ McCoy jumped up to the top side. So Grim Reaper Motorsports leading the top lane right now. Slade and company kind of falling off a little bit. But Jeremy, I see a lot of drivers that are on that bottom lane. There's no organization to that middle or that top lane. And now it's just Knight and McCoy on the top side.
78, John Howard trying to lead a lap here in that 78. See if he can't make that move. He's got to get a little side draft, though, from your race leader, Bobby Mansell, if he wants to make it happen. Patrick Gentner in second place. That's the 75 truck. He's going to slide up in front of the 78, John Howard. He's going to leave Bobby Mansell hanging for just a moment, but the 75 drives up too far up the track. Not going to get the assistance that he was going to look for, and that's going to allow Bobby to lead that lap. John Howard a half a truck length beforehand, or after rather, at the line. And there goes Patrick Gentner. Goodbye, top 5 and possibly top 10.
Yeah, I don't know if that was planned or not. I mean, it looked like he did the right call moving to the middle lane, but like you said, just overshot that middle lane. And when that door is left open, if drivers have to make a choice of either backing off the throttle or putting their truck in an open slot and they can stay full throttle, they're going to choose that open slot all day long, and that's exactly what John Howard did. You see, he finally moves down to that inside lane right in front of his team teammate. So they're going to sit here, and actually it was in between. They're going to build up a little bit. John Howard back to the attack again, Jeremy. This is about the most aggressive we've seen John Howard in a number of races. He has just constantly been on the attack today.
Love to see it.
Oh, absolutely.
The 78 is one of the guys potentially not going to be able to move on through the playoffs if he doesn't have a solid race tonight. So he's got to be up here. I mean, if you're going to be mid-pack, maybe go to the back, but if you're in the top 5, this is perfect. Keep him in a spot potentially to, move on to the next round. And there's only 2 rounds, right? This one, you get the next one, and then you get the final single race for the championship. So still 2 wide, 5th on back. Everybody else single file. Quick shout out to the partner that's been with us the longest, Dustin, martinsports.gg. They're actually the reason why we're here tonight and for the entire season of 2024. Hooked us up with some good partnerships between the brand you're watching now and us, and I'm thankful that we're able to call these races every single Sunday night for the Global Racing League. And so if you're looking to do team jerseys, team gloves, want to buy some just stock gloves, there's a ton of them for sale right now on martinsports.gg. I mean, really ups your game, keeps your hands nice and dry. They're very durable. They're originally built for softball. And so they got that ruggedness already. Now they're just built for sim racing. So if you're looking up your game in the sim world for your team or just yourself, find yourself at martinsports.gg. Super Nerd at checkout. 25% off, Dustin.
Yeah, and Martin Sports is again the one of the big sponsors for the Global Racing Truck Series. Like you said, it's part of the reason why we were here. And I am too, Jeremy. I am happy to be calling these races. This is a solid group of guys over here. They always put on some good shows, some good racing, and you're seeing it right now, Jeremy. Right now, though, a lot of lineup on that inside. Now we're going 3 wide. Going to leave Justin LeBlanc in the center, but he's got his Lone Star teammates for the first time coming up. That's EJ Luna and Danny White coming up on that center line to try to give Justin LeBlanc a little bit of help. Grim Reaper stuck on that top side right now. That's Stephen Knight, JJ McCoy, but Slade and Brad Miner and Brody Marinko coming up on that top side, Jeremy. This is going to be a good drag race.
Good drag race here. Some scattering in the back, trying to figure out what lane they want to be in. 11 laps in the books of the scheduled 85-lap event. Pit stops, I would imagine, are going to be somewhere between 25 and 30, or maybe in just a hair further. So expect 2 stops in total if we go green flag from start to finish. But little single file momentum here inside the top 5-6 area. Not really trying to post the issue, just very content letting Bobby Mantle lead the laps.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of it is just leading laps. One thing I am noticing, Jeremy, is I see 5 green spoilers in a line right now. So these teammates have worked their way around, gotten themselves in a line. That's Team Whatchamacallit. Now we've seen Lone Star Racing, they're in a line as well. You see those orange spoilers, they're lined up. That's great. One you don't see right now is Grim Reaper Motorsports. You got 1 out front lead, and the rest were kind of scattered a little bit, but they're slowly working their way towards each other. So you see right now Stephen Knight, JJ McCoy, but you got McGinley and Holmes on the inside. So Jeremy, that tells me these drivers are already starting to kind of get an idea for pit stops coming up, because you got to come in with your team, because if you come in solo, you are going to lose big time.
You don't want to do that. You don't. Even if it's just 2 trucks, you maybe can get away with it if the group are pitting within the same lap or next lap. So you really want like 3 or more to be safe. And so it's vital to have your teammates here. We do this, or you've been doing it solo yourself, so you can speak to how shitty it is to be by yourself without partners out here on a super speedway. But when we are together, though, we're all racing. We like to pit at the same time. We like to save the fuel collectively to make it happen. And if we can't, then one person has the extra lap, we'll back it down and pit a lap shorter to make sure we got a partner, because it's just so vital here.
It really is. And I mean, it's to try to explain how that goes, you know, when we all race together, it makes life so easy. We talk, we communicate, we know when we're coming in. Like you said, if one of us has a lap extra of fuel, we'll cut and pit a lap earlier just to come in with teammates, just so we have that draft help and we can help each other out. When you race solo, like I have a couple or a number of times, it's tough because you don't have that team communication. You got to try to guess and hope and pray that you're even in the ballpark of the same strategy to try to make it happen. And then you got to try to figure out when people are coming in and they don't always post when they are. It gets very tough. So the fact that these drivers have teammates out there, you know that they are going to have the help coming in. But back to the action on track, Bobby Mantle jumps to the high side. That's going to leave the inside lane open for the 23 of Anthony Emmerich and company. He's got teammates Howard, White, McGill, and Harrington behind him. So, again, stacked on that inside lane with green spoilers.
Stacked indeed here. 23 leading the way now. Anthony Emmerich, which AE Racing on the YouTube side just keyed up a lap prior saying, let's go Emmerich. Well, here he is. He's at the top of the board, one of the few drivers not in the playoffs. He says, I don't need a playoff spoiler to be up here and contending for the race win. We're going to do it early here with Team Whatchamacallit. Look at the green spoilers. 1, 2, 3, 4, all on the bottom. They've got the game plan. You see Lone Star wanting to work the top. Green Reaper's the only one kind of spaced out a little bit. So is Lazy Lizard. Those two still trying to get their teammates in a line, but the green versus the orange, it's a thing right now at the front.
Oh, it definitely is. And then you got Bobby Mantle leading that top side there, so he's got Lone Star behind him, but he's trying to lead that charge on that top side as they're coming back. Now remember, just 2 laps ago, Mantle was leading, and he jumped to that top side, and that's what allowed Anthony Emmerich to take the lead. And since then, this inside lane has just lurched forward about 4 trucks now, so that's going to put Bobby Mantle in a battle right now for 5th place with the 57 of Ron Harrington.
Run 2 by 2 by 2. Looks like the third lane starting to build a little momentum as Stephen Knight, JJ McCoy, and Danny White actually going to break away from his teammates. He's going to try to get that third lane going, but just like that, it broke away because of the checkup. So they're going to kind of regroup once more. That was quickly destroyed. Just a quarter of a lap difference there. Dustin, we're going to take our first picture-in-picture break. We'll be back in a couple laps. Back to full screen here on lap 21. 23, Anthony Emmerich still at the point. 89, Mantle found himself at the point, but on the top side here. Trying to continue to lead the most laps for the no biggie big one, 225. Looking out back to the entire field off of Bobby Mantle's roof. Looking at the 78, John Howard, running 2nd place in line to his teammate Anthony in front. You got Clayton White right there. And then Austin McGill. And I think they picked up their 5th spoiler, green spoiler. Yeah, they got the 57 on Harrington. So all 5 team whatchamacallit in a line, Dustin.
Yeah, and they've been like that for a number of laps now. And this top side trying to get some momentum going. Lone Star has been pretty much nuts to butts now on that top side. Danny White was there, broke away, came back. And they've all been pushing the 89 of Bobby Mantle right now. But as it sits, I mean, that bottom lane is getting some momentum there, Jeremy. They're a little bit more organized as it sits, you see a little bit more spacing in between McGill and Harrington, but it's tough, Jeremy. But one thing they got to start worrying about, we're working lap 22 right now. I would expect these drivers are going to have to start coming down and getting on that inside lane because pit stops have got to be rearing their ugly face here pretty soon. You see Bobby Mantle go way high. I'm guessing he's going to drop back and kind of get in the collective group of the rest of his team back there. You see those yellow spoilers. So I think this might be a planned move, Jeremy.
Yeah, you said rear your ugly head. That kind of like, I watched that, again, I watched the race yesterday. You and our newest esports driver, Steve Radin, were a part of him. Steve entered pit road 5 wide at Talladega last night. And I thought it was kind of fun to watch that. And it didn't go well. Someone wrecked, spun themselves out in the grass. So things can go crazy. It doesn't matter if it's 20 drivers or 40 on the track. When you come down pit road, you just have this mental thing of you have to know what the other guys are doing, or else things happen. It gets chaotic quickly. You're going from 190 to 55 mile an hour as quick as the time as possible. And brake locks happen, shifting of lanes happen. It's just, it gets fun. It gets fun to watch sometimes.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on that, I mean, a lot of people don't realize when they're actually coming down pit road. I mean, these guys are coming down at 190 plus mile an hour, and they are coming down to pit road speed at a whole whopping 55 miles an hour. So they are hitting the brakes heavy. They are transmission braking heavy. It's real easy to apply too much brake and lock it up and get it sliding, or to downshift doing transmission braking and downshift one too many times, and it's going to do the same thing. It is going to tail whip the crap out of that truck. And it's tough. And you sit here and put in the factor that you have, you know, say 10 other trucks coming down at the same time. You're 2, 3, sometimes 4 or more wide. It gets crazy. Oh, Steve Knight! What a save by Steve Knight there. That looked like a bump from his teammate there, and it just got that truck out of funk.
That was the second time I saw Steve Knight get out of funk. This time was the worst one. Went down from the very top lane to the very bottom to save the truck. He did a great job doing so. But now he's woken up. If you're kind of falling asleep, you're not anymore. You're here now. You're full wide alert for the next couple laps, which you might need that for the pit stop here coming up soon. No tires. You can forget about those. It's only going to be the virtual Sunoco fuel that's going to go into these things, and probably the entirety of the race unless there's a caution flag at some point. But looks like we still got a few more laps. There's still a lot of trucks on the top right now.
Yeah, and yeah, you were saying that that'll wake you up. Yeah, going from uptown to downtown like that, from top lane to very bottom, sideways, that'll definitely do it for you. But yeah, we still, like I said, Jeremy, we still got trucks that are on that third lane. So these guys, pitting is not in their frame of mind as it sits right now. Otherwise, they would not be that high. But you see that inside lane getting very good. And I see some trucks there dipping below the yellow. I seen Clayton White kind of dip below the yellow there. I don't know if that was signaling whether or not he was going to be entering pit road. That is one thing that the drivers over here at Global Racing Truck Series, they will do to let the rest of the field know that they look to come down pit road. But I don't know if he was doing that to get air or to signal he was pitting. It might have been just to get air, because there goes pit road this time by.
Yep, truck's running hot if you're not leading the line right now, which EJ Luna in the 24 has taken over the top lane. Got Justin LeBlanc in second, Danny White in third, and Bradley Minor in fourth. That's respected to the outside lane, not the inside. And the 24 is creeping up here. They just can't get around the 78. They get there, and then they fall back. It's almost like Anthony Emmerich is just not touchable. And Dustin, as you know, you can build a setup to be pushed, or you can build a setup to lead, or lead or to push. So right now it looks like they have a great combination of both, to where they can push really well, and the lead truck can lead.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out too, because I mean it is almost an art form to stay behind somebody for as many laps as John Howard has behind Anthony Emmerich. And I'm not talking about just staying behind and riding. Like, these two drivers have collectively been in the top 2 spots since they've gotten in this order right here. And to do that for as many laps and do temperature control for your engine and oil pressure for water and oil, That's an art form in itself. You see, he dips his lower nose out a little bit to get air. He'll dip his top nose out to get some air. That is very reminiscent to what needs to cool down. He'll dip the right front out to cool off the water temp. He'll dip like that. He'll dip the left front out to sit here and cool down the oil temp. So he has been controlling and maintaining temps for at least the last 12 to 15 laps, Jeremy.
It is indeed an art form to be able to do that. And the fact that he is keeping it within 3 to 4 inches off the bumper. And he's not doing a lot of left and right movement. It's just straight up, I'm behind you, we're good. I'm keeping it cool. That's either awesome throttle control or just how the setup pushes another truck, keeps that air pocket a little more pushed out, allowing them to, temperature control just a little bit. You see him right there, about a quarter truck length to the outside. That's all he needed down the back straightaway. The rest of the lap is just onward right behind him. And Dustin, I see a lot of single file motioning right here. This tells me, you already talked about pit stops. Well, everyone going single file tells me it's really soon.
Yeah, I would say it probably at the earliest. Next time by, you're going to see drivers start to look to come down. If you think about it, Jeremy, lap 30, that pretty much opens up the window. 85 laps, if you can go 30 laps, that's going to break it down to 2 pit stops. That's going to put you able to run 90 laps at this event. So that gives you the 85 regulated distance plus a little extra in case there's a green-white checkered. So I would look at the earliest this time, Jeremy.
I saw Ron Howard dip it down halfway below the double line. He's the last truck of the trail for Team Whatchamacallit, so that might have been his signal to the rest of the field, hey, we might be making that movement. Keep our eye on that. That's your race leaders if they come down. They do not, so they keep toying with us with that idea, because remember, we've already discussed it throughout the season. These guys can't talk to one another in the session. They're in their own discords, so they have no idea or no way of communicating with another driver. That's all by truck movement, and so when we see it, we like to call it as an expectancy of them moving on pit road, but not every time is that true.
No, and especially on this one here, because it could also be that they're trying to get some air to that front nose, and if they have a line of trucks to their outside, they really can't dip the nose to the right, for fear of door checking a door panel of a competitor on the high side. So the safer bet is down the straightaways to dip it down on the left side to get a little bit of air on that front nose. So again, that's why they call restrictor plate racing a chess match at 200 miles an hour, because you are all over the place, and there's a number of things that these drivers are doing inside these virtual cockpits.
Pit stops. 25 Adam Ghostin, he called down pit road. A couple of drivers came down with him. Joshua Slade.
It's all one of one.
Brody Marinko. All one of one, making the early stop. 4 trucks, that's enough to get the job done. Now, I see the 78 John Howard. He's calling down pit road. He's your second place truck. So Team Whatchamacallit, expect him to be coming down this time.
Yeah, so this is where you're going to start seeing it. So you know that Team Whatchamacallit's going to end up coming down. The question is, when's Lone Star Racing going to do it? When's Grim Reaper? I don't see Grim Reaper doing it because they're still on the high side. Tells me they may try to go at least one more rotation around. They do get to the inside this time. And here we go. We all peel it. And look at this. 3 wide. The rest of the field coming in.
No.
Oh.
Poor EJ Luna, the only truck to stay out of this big pack. He is all by himself.
And look at this.
Look at the chaos. So 4 wide, 3 wide, scattered all over the place. They're in formation, Dustin.
Oh, yeah. That was just a wild thing. But like you said, the Heartbreakers, EJ Luna did not get the memo, did not come in. The rest of the field came in. And Jeremy, it doesn't seem like it's much. You may think, hey, you know what? You get to come in pit road. You have no obstructions. Don't have to worry about hitting any other drivers. But the amount of speed loss that he has right now for this entire lap, that is what is going to kill him big time. He's got to get in on pit road, off of pit road, as fast and as clean as possible. He's going to have to push it to the breaking point here of almost speeding once he hits that commitment cone, because he has to try to make up as much time as possible.
The fastest time in practice versus the fastest time in qualifying is 4.5 seconds difference. That's the amount of time EJ Luna just lost. Once the draft was broken, he went down from a 49 to 50-second lap to a 54.5-second lap. So even if he hits his marks, I'd be really curious if he can even group up with
Well,
one of one motorsports. So
Well,
okay,
right now,
on that.
Clayton White will be the race leader. He's just now at the entrance of pit road. Talladega is one of the easier pit exits because of the banking of the apron itself. You'll be in fourth gear while you're still going through turns 1 and 2 all the way out. But you can see right now, there goes the lead pack.
No,
Yep, gone. He has to get up to speed. He has to be clean. And this is what's going to be tough. And this is what is brutal as a driver, because you see these trucks going by. He's going to have to try to get up and try to latch on to Abram Ghostin as they go by. But that's going to be a tough call as well, Jeremy. He's going to have to fall back to Ron Harrington in the 57 in order to get any draft help at this point, because about 1.2 seconds difference in between the car in front of you, and that's when the draft literally stops pulling you.
Yep, it fades, and then at that 1.2-ish mark, you're done. You are disconnected from any assistance. And now you're running qualifying laps out there at 54.5 seconds a lap versus these guys on your screen that are running 50 seconds a lap. Clean pit stops, not one single fault to be found from what I am showing on my end, so that's very good to see. But it has indeed spaced out the field a little bit, but a good chunk of the leaders. Yellow spoilers on the top, green on the bottom, a couple orange in between, a couple blues in between. But it shows you where the teamwork is and how it affects your race outcome. Green and yellow do the best job possible.
Absolutely. You see right now, Chad McGinley, first time we've seen him up towards the top 5 right now. He's made his way up there. Jeremy, we're going to have to take a look to see what happened to Brad Miner. It looked like he might have had some issues on pit road because he came in with his one-of-one teammates, and he just now went a lap down. So he is well off the pace. Justin LeBlanc is the same way. He's well off the pace as well. So don't know what happened to those two drivers, but we do know that they did come in with teammates, but that is not how they are running as we speak right now.
I'm going to do a quick shout out. We have another new partner on board with the Nerditudes group. That's going to be Brez Coffee Co. You see right there the logo. That's BREZ coffeeco.com. We have a flavor with them too.
We do.
Sugary sweet joystick. And it's live now. It's a churro-based flavor, medium brew. It's very good flavor. Anytime I get a churro-flavored coffee, I like to grab one and try it. I like trying odd flavors. You might think this is an odd flavor, but it's sugar. And sugar goes good with coffee if you don't know by now. So give it a try. And they have a lot of different flavors to choose from too. I appreciate them wanting to partner with us. Just a little cross-branding action happening here. And so go try it out, brezcoffeeco.com. And you can use Super Nerd at checkout. It does give you a 5% discount. And if we can sell a few more bags, it'll kick over to 10%. So once you buy it, you get cheaper prices. And hopefully you enjoy the flavor.
Absolutely. Brand new. That was just released yesterday, I believe. As it went live. And the owner of Brez Coffee Company, we've been in Discord chitty-chatting, and it had only been up for about 10 minutes, and we already had a sale in the first 10 minutes. So glad to see that that's going. They have a lot of flavors out there, too, so check them out. Go take a look, purchase some sugary sweet joystick, and then check out some of the other specialty flavors they have. A lot of good stuff over there from Brez.
I just bought a bag too yesterday from a craft shop that was in my local town. So I supported some local business with his harvest flavor. That was full dark brew. It is 5 out of 5, and that's amazing flavor. But my very next purchase will be that flavor, of course. So that's it on that. We can talk about it for laps and laps and laps because we love coffee here.
Oh, 100%.
But I'm sure people want to hear other things than coffee. So Chad McGinley, no surprise, has got a lap lead here. Yellow spoilers actually controlling the bottom.
And top.
5. Yeah, controlling the majority of the top, but one truck on the bottom, keeping Team Whatchamacallit and John Howard from leading this thing, as we're 38 and a half laps into this 85 lap event, almost to the halfway mark for the no biggie big one 225. There's been no crash at all so far through almost half this thing, so that's very good to hear. They're listening to the title of the race, Dustin.
They are. They definitely are. But try to say that title of the race 5 times fast. But let's hope the commentator's curse doesn't do it, because you had to say it, Jeremy. You had to. But one thing I am noticing is, one, there's a lot of space in between these two lines, Jeremy. You and I, we have hundreds of laps at plate races. We run in different leagues and everything else that run plate races on, for the whole schedule. We got time here. How often have you seen a race coming up to almost halfway through and you've seen that much space in there to where you could actually fit a whole nother line of trucks in between these two lines? Normally we see a lot of side draft, which means you got to get up close and right in their personal bubble to really utilize that, and these drivers haven't really been doing that yet. And that tells me that, again, they're just trying to get towards the end. They're just trying to tick some laps. I would expect that to change the closer we get to that elevated esports white flag one to go.
In the third lane, trying to form, it's still not strong like a Category 4 storm gonna hit Florida strong, but they're trying though. They have their team, and that's it. No other team wants to join one at the top, so that's a problem, right? To run the top in this newer aero package in the trucks, you need help, and you need lots of it in front of you, not to your side. You can get a little side draft, but you still have a parachute, and they've tried it twice or 3 times now, and it has been ineffective every single time as it broke up just right there. So this race will majorly be a 2-lane race. Maybe if there's a hiccup toward the front, you can jump to a quick leapfrog on the 3rd lane, but I just don't see it being a thing right now, so it just makes the race that much tougher when there's less lane choices.
And it really does. And like you said, we have seen a number of different teams try to get that 3rd lane going, and you can get that 3rd lane going. But like you said, with this new aero package, Jeremy, it's not like how it was before that, to where you could have 3 lanes for, 10, 12 laps. That 3rd lane, if they are going to make a move, they need to plan it. They need to strike and execute flawlessly, and they need to do it quickly, because that momentum on that top side dies out in just a number of laps. So they need to get up there, make their move, get the passes, pull back down to the 2nd lane, build up momentum, pull to the top side, try it again, rinse and repeat. That is the way this is with this new aero package.
Really much is, and toward the end of the race, you're going to see a lot of close side drafting to try to make any move. Well, there goes Josh Slade again. It's just not a thing. He's going to regret going up to the top. He's going to go back to 2 wide just like that. He made a quick move to the top, too. It wasn't like that was communicated. That was just a whip it and try to see what happens type motion, but nothing there. Maybe one truck. 54, Marinko thought about maybe going to the outside of his teammate, but he went back down 2 wide. It's just not working. So we're going to hang tight here, do 2 by 2 by 2. We're on lap 44 this time by. So not this lap, but next lap will be the halfway mark in this race.
Yeah, John Howard out front leading right now. Remember, he spent a majority of the first stint of this race running P2 on that inside lane, pushing his teammate Anthony Emmerich on the 23 and doing a fantastic job. Speaking of Anthony Emmerich, he's doing the little blinky on the inside. That's a no-no at this track. Don't want that to happen. We've seen what happened last week. That's kind of what caught Clayton White off guard, was somebody blinked out and then blinked back in, and it was the reaction that ended up calling it a night for the 14 last week. So, but, oh, man, what a cut from Midtown to downtown for the 65, Jeremy. I don't think there was that much room in between those 2 trucks.
No, not much room at all. And I had poor math. It was the last lap prior was the halfway mark, not the one in advance. But here's the instant replay from Nerd TV, and we see Patrick saying goodbye, and just like that, we'll shuffle throughout the field, and Not too much room whenever you got a huge speed difference. And here's the cut. There's the cut. Like, you can't see that bumper, but if you know this camera, you know that that was maybe just 2 inches or so. And of course, John backed down just a touch to make sure there wasn't a wreck. And Dustin said, all right, well, I'm going to give you a better angle because you had to say something about you can't tell.
Because why not,
So-
right?
Yeah, all right, so we've got some time. But he's going to show the front here, and Dustin has a great time of messing up the camera at the last second
Jeez.
right there. You love it.
I
love
do.
it.
We're going to try that one more time.
My God. All right, here we go. There's a nice sunset. Here's the cut for Chad. He's going to zoom in, just get a little close right there. There we go. And I think
Oh man, you cannot get any closer than that cut. Man, that is that's drivers having trust with one another. That is for damn sure.
he almost caused the big one. That right of the cup race, it was caused by the leader being bumped. And that would have been the leader being hooked in turn 3, so that could have been it. But we stay green. That's the most important part there. 46 laps in the books. So we have 38 laps to go, I think, for this time around. And we're going to kick it to our last picture-in-picture. And we're going to hang tight from that point to the green flag pit stops.
Everybody get up.
And welcome back. Full screen back on the racing action. 50 laps are almost completed as they get to the line this time around, which will signal 35 laps to go. These guys are just on the brink of being inside that window for pit stops and making it to the end. I expect every single one of these drivers to make it or run this thing to the very end of their fuel cycle so they have fuel in the tank for any potential green-white checkers that might pop up here tonight. Still no cautions, 50 laps in. Love to see that. I love good hard racing, but I also love not seeing wrecks all over the place. They might be thrilling to you guys. but I can appreciate going flag to flag without a yellow.
Yeah, it doesn't happen as often anymore. So anytime a league can do that, it's a true testament to the abilities of the drivers that they actually have slotted in their particular league. So, and we've seen all these drivers here pull amazing clean races. One caution flag for 200 laps of racing. So we know that these guys can get it done. My question is, Jeremy, are we going to have any takers on trying to short pit this thing to try to undercut some of their competitors? I mean, with the way it's gone, Jeremy, we have gone 51 laps green flag. We've seen green flag pit stops. We've seen pretty much 3/4 of the field come in on the same lap, on the same pit stop, completely clean. Is anybody going to gamble that this thing will go caution-free, flag to flag, green to checkered, and will they try to undercut their competitors?
I mean, undercutting at a super speedway can and cannot work. I have seen it. It doesn't work as easily as it does like a speedway. But, yeah, I mean, it's possible. We saw the green spoilers. They did it on that first stop, and here they are. They're still with the main pack. So, it's one of those things to where you have to do it several laps difference compared to your competition, or else you're just going to be in the same pack. 4 or 5 trucks, yeah, if you all do it simultaneously, come down at the same time, you can draft and well enough and keep the speed as the rest of the pack can. So it's just so tough to get a breakout when you got such good competition around you.
And it really is. And, I mean, if we think about it, I don't know if an undercut is really, oh, man, Slade thought about it there and had to back out. You see, Brody Marinko had to shoot to the high side because he had to back out. So Slade trying it on the inside there in the middle lane. But what I was getting ready to say was, I don't think an undercut is really going to cut the mustard tonight. We seen One of One Motorsports. The entire team came in. They had 4 trucks come in. Came in a couple laps prior to the rest of the field, and it really didn't work, Jeremy. They still slotted pretty much after everybody got up to speed right where they were at, which was right about mid to back of the pack. So I don't think an undercut's going to work. I think they're going to have to go in and they're going to have to make the best pit stop possible to try to get themselves out with the fewest amount of trucks in front of them. The less trucks you have to worry about trying to pass and draft, the better off you are. So it's going to be a gamble, but I can tell you what, there's going to be a lot of 3-wide racing with about 10 laps to go. It's going to get crazy wild, that's for sure.
Crazy wild is the term that we're going to use for this round of pit stops. Still too wide. Still see tons of respectable space between the 2 lanes. They're not bumping doors. They're not trying to side draft the crap out of one another. They're just kind of being respectful with one another, and it's allowing us to stay green flag. That's probably the main reason why we stay green flag. The bumps have not been seen much in the corners, subtle bumps down the straightaways. This is what you want to see. This is a picture-perfect style of super speedway racing where you got the 2 wide, you got the 3 wide, you see some strategy, but at the end of the day it's been super clean. So shout out Global Racing League Truck Series. They're putting on an awesome show so far through 55 laps.
Yeah, and and we talked about this. I mean, that just goes to show the level of respect for the drivers, that they have for their fellow competitors here. They've been given a lot of room. Like I said, I mean, look at the room right now. Going in between, you could fit almost an entire truck in between. JJ McCoy there and Emmerich, who is on the inside lane. So it's they're not really doing the side draft as much as what, we've seen a lot of other trucks use. It's a lot of respect. There's been a lot of respect given for sure.
65 has the 78 and the 14 single filed. 4th on back still remain 2x2x2 throughout the top 10. So we're approaching that 57. These pit stops, let's say they came down around 32, 33. So if they did that same route, we'll see them down at about 8 laps or so. So we're within that window of, hey, you need to get with your teammates, see if you haven't found some already. Green spoilers team, whatchamacallit, they are already there. They know what they're doing. Grim Reaper, they're kind of spaced out right now. You got one on the bottom, two on the top, and then 6 trucks back on the outside. So that's a little kick over. The one of one, I feel like they did really well the last time at a super speed. I think Daytona, they did super well. But for some reason, the competition just got stepped up one more. And now Tina's been searching here tonight.
Yeah, they really have. And if you think about it, they're the ones that have been trying to get that third lane working, just have not had the momentum, but they got to get more help behind them, which they haven't had a lot of help right now because drivers are not ready to start pushing it 3 wide. They want to try to get closer to the end. Like I said, you get to the last 10 to 15 laps of this race, Jeremy, and one of one, or whoever jumps to that high side, will have the help on that high side because there's going to be more trucks wanting to try to move to the front. So, I mean, that's definitely a big one as it sits right now. But I would definitely say about lap 64 to 65, Jeremy, pit road is going to get busy as we work there. And that will be the last scheduled pit stop for these drivers. From that point on, it's going to be the loud pedal down and hold on tight.
100% here. See JJ McCoy bringing it back nose to nose with his teammate here. The whole field 2 by 2 through the top 13. Only 2 trucks out of the draft. And that's EJ Luna and Ron Harrington. Everybody else is 1 lap down. That's Bradley Minor, Patrick Gettner, Justin LeBlanc, Ronald Holmes. 2 of the drivers on the 1 lap down scale is playoff drivers, Bradley Minor and Justin LeBlanc. So not having the night that they would have hoped for at Talladega for sure.
I'm wondering if something happened on pit road with those 2 drivers because I know for a fact Brad Minor came in with the rest of his one of one motorsports team, and then all of a sudden he was just off the radar.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. I really am. Bradley Minor's 4th in points, so at the cutoff mark, I think he's going to be okay. He was 26 back. The bubble mark has him. You have to lose 20 plus points. I don't think he's going to do that, so he's safe. Justin Blanc is the other one that kind of kicked back. He's in 10th in points. He needed this race, and I don't know if it stays green the whole way. I think this might have been a do or die for the 85, and he will not be advancing.
Yeah, and well, I mean, we talked about it in the pre-race show presented by Martin Sports that this was going to have playoff implications. You know, drivers were going to have a solid race in order to advance their position in the playoffs. And what a track to have that much weighing on it, being a wild card track like a restrictor plate track. So I mean, it just
insane.
It is. It's crazy the amount of pressure these drivers are on at a track like Talladega.
Yeah, like any other track, sure, you got it. But you come here at a super speedway and it's just a wild card. Like, you have to have your ducks in a row before you get here. And now you're here. And to be on the bubble, that's just... I wouldn't want to be in that spot. He spent all year working hard on this. And then it comes down to just one pit stop 8 months later.
Look at this.
It's going to solve your playoff. And yeah, you can tell it's pit road time, Dustin. We're 3 laps to the 64 mark that I talked about. And once more, choo-choo, here comes the train. Only one train pulling all the cars behind them.
Choo-choo ka-choo as these drivers are just following suit. And we look like we're going to have some takers coming in pit road. Gonna be getting busy here. Looks like all the green spoilers coming in. That's Clayton White, John Howard, Austin McGill in the 99, Anthony Emmerich, Shane Wheeldon, all coming down right now to the service of their virtual pit crew. So this will be their last scheduled pit stop with 24 laps to go. Got to come in clean. Got to get out clean, Jeremy.
We're going to see how that goes. The chats are technically open for calling out pit road, so I am actually able to pick out when and when or not they're going to be pitting. And just kind of watching the pit road exit with Team Whatchamacallit, make sure they're all squared away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shane Wheeldon with a hiccup. That's from Lazy Lizard. He was the 5th truck in that pack. He's not going to retain the draft, and also the team got broken up. Got the 23 of Emmerich, the 99 of McGill. They're out together. And then a whole 2 seconds ahead of them is the Clayton White, John Howard. But it looks like they have slowed up to let the teammates come back. Great teamwork to get all 4 trucks back together.
Yeah, and you see Clayton White right now. He is the link in that. So he's holding back to let these guys pull back up. They'll get back in line, try to get back up to speed. Yep, and they've got to, just like that. You cannot waste any time because these guys here, they're still just ticking away. And when they come down pit road, that's make or break time for Team Whatchamacallit. So we'll see how this plays out. Because if you're going to call anything a short pit or an undercut, that's probably as close as you're going to get. Got some more takers coming down pit road your way, Jeremy.
More takers this time. Let's see how many trucks
One
came
of
down
one.
officially here. 1 of 1, so 4, and that's it. 4 trucks down. And looks like they're entering their stalls. All in one little cluster, man. That's when you qualify next to each other. This is what you have to deal with if you're a team: is driving through virtual cars left and right. And what a fun time there. But they all hit their marks. It looked like, as long as they get the exit down, we're gonna be good. And no, same situation. You got Bradley Miner, Joshua Slade. They broke out by themselves. Abram Ghost and Brody Marinko 2 to 3 seconds back. So again, teammates not hitting the marks perfectly. Now it's Grim Reaper's turn. What can they do?
Yeah, and actually this is going to help out for the teams that tried to undercut a little bit, because if you remember the first time we did green flag pit stops, we had 1 of 1 Motorsports come in, just the team itself, and then 2 laps later, literally everybody else came down to pit. It was a little different this time. We've seen Team Whatchamacallit come down, then 1 of 1, now Grim Reaper and company. You had a couple other teams kind of scattered in there from time to time. So this is going to be interesting to see exactly how this is going to turn out. Right now, Team Whatchamacallit working their way off of turn 4, as they are right now coming up to pit road entry. So it looks like the rest of the company now exiting pit road, so they are now on the apron, getting up to speed. But Team Whatchamacallit, Jeremy, they are up to full steam right now. They are going to truck right on by.
Grim Reaper did it perfectly. See Chad McGinley's the only one that kind of lagged back a little bit, but for the most part he's good. But look at that. They did the undercut. You talked about it. Will they do it? I said it's tough. They did have that multiple lap variance, which is what they needed. And even with the lag back that the team had to bring in the 99 and 23, they were still able to carry that momentum past Grim Reaper and past the whole competition. So shout out for Team Whatchamacallit. They're going to just comfortably lead the top 4 spots.
Yeah, now the rest of these drivers, they'll be able to close back in. Once they get organized, a lot of space right now in between McCoy and Mantle. And then you got about 6 truck lengths back to Steve Knight. You got about 3 truck lengths between Knight and Danny White. But once these guys get closed in, as long as they stay tight, they'll be able to reel them back in. McGinley's in the picture as well. And then you have all 1 of 1 as well. They're trying to sit here and catch back up. Jeremy, 20 laps to go. They got time. They can still all close back up. But as it sits right now, Team Whatchamacallit, like you said, leading the way.
We almost had our first wreck. Team Whatchamacallit driver Ron Harrington on that camera through 1 and 2 was actually in the grass. Got loose on the apron transition and saved it, thankfully. But no harm, no foul. Everyone is just fine. And you see the yellow spoilers have caught the green ones. They're going to go to the top naturally because that's the only lane open. And so this is where it gets fun. We are just now under 20 laps to go. Being 19. And you see 2 on the top. They did not bring anybody else with them, so they're going to fall back a little bit. I think Whatchamacallit has the better setup overall to lead and push, but you never know. We'll see how the orange and yellow tackle the green together on the top.
Yeah, and we have a mix here too. So we've got 2 races going on. You have your lead lap cars that are racing right now, but you also have cars that are a lap down. That's the 24 of EJ Luna, the 85 of Justin LeBlanc. Those drivers are trying to bid for one of 2 things, or both, depending on where they're at if something would happen. They're trying to get their lap back the hard way, and that's by driving up past John Howard. or two, they're trying to be the first car one lap down. Now, this could happen one of two ways. If one of these cars gets in front, gets their lap back, and a caution comes out, the lucky dog would then go to the other one. But these drivers have every right to be up here racing as well. So there's actually two battles that are going on as we speak and as we watch. But you see right now, Jeremy, that we had J.J. McCoy and Bobby Mantle, who was battling on that top side. They backed way off and are falling back. It looks like they're trying to pick up their teammate here of Chad McGinley as they're trying to sit here and truck forward.
Yeah, they fell off too much, and they're done. Even if they go nose to tail, they're done. So I don't see them making anything happen unless there's a caution. You see one of one. They're trying their best. They're linked up all together here with Lazy Lizard tailing that with Patrick Gettner in the 75.
They're still way off, though, man.
Yeah,
way off.
Yeah. When you say way off, they're 7 seconds back. There's nothing going for them right now. But going back to the front main pack here, it's 5-on-3 right now. Only one yellow spoiler in the mix. You would maybe think, do you think the 79 of Steven Knight could be that link that you talked about? Drop 4 tenths, maybe 5 to help.
I don't think they're going to need it.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Now, maybe that was an insurance policy. I mean, that could have been team communication that one driver was staying with the lead draft, that driver being Steve Knight. So in the chance that they weren't able to close up, that he could drop back that 4 to 5 tenths to try to be that link in between both packs. But at this point, I mean, J.J. McCoy and company being Mantle and McGinley, it's not needed. They're catching back up to this pack. That's going to give 4 Grim Reaper Motorsports drivers pitted against 4 Team Whatchamacallit drivers, and then you have 3 Lone Star drivers up on that top side, but only one of them is on the lead lap. The other 2 are laps down, so you know who's going to be pushing who when time comes to it.
You absolutely do. The colors match up nicely at these super speedway races somehow, some way. 71 laps started on this event, so 15 to go. The no biggie big one, 225. Going to shout out another partner of ours, our second newest one, Race EPI at Elite Performance Industries. And so if you want that competitive edge to get yourself in a victory lane for the first time or for the 100th time or however many wins you have, you're going to give yourself a much better chance by visiting raceepi.com. Pick your setup, pick your pricing, purchase it, and let us know how it does for you. Could be good, could be worse. You never know. But on average, I have drove quite a few setups in my time, and I think these guys, unbiased, are my favorite setups. They drive more natural, not on edge, and they also keep the speed behind you and underneath you. So it's a great setup. That's raceepi.com.
And Jeremy, I said 15 laps to go or less, and you were going to see 3 wide. And look who's lined up on that top side. All 4 Grim Reaper Motorsports drivers right now lined up on the top side trying to get something going. Looks like they're going to try to get a little draft from that mid-pack, but they are just a trucking, Jeremy. So this race is going to get good. 14 laps to go, and we're about to see it 3 wide, 3 deep.
3 wide, 3 deep. Dustin is making the call for them getting it. So we'll see. We'll see if that does come to fruition. I don't know about that. Oh no, here we go. Here we go. Wreck, flip, crash. Green spoilers. Dustin. You can work together as a team, but you can also die as a team. And the green spoilers have done it as the first boomer button boxes caution is out here on lap 73.
Yeah, we're going to go back and take a look at what happened. That started somewhere around John Howard and EJ Luna. And we're going to get a better picture on that one there. We're actually going to back it up a little bit and see what happened. So going through. And, oh, man, I don't know if that was a bump from the 64, but the 24 definitely went down at least a half a lane or more and right into the side. Oh, man, and look at that. John Howard, 3 tires up off the ground, but keeps it down on all 4s. Anthony Emmerich right up in front. Oh no, Bobby Mantle gets a piece of that one. So, man, that was a tough one, Jeremy.
Yeah, that was actually, I did not catch that initially from the views I was looking at, but yeah, the 24 was assisted by Danny White to the inside of John Howard. Had nothing to do with green on green. It just happened to collect at the bottom of the track. And you're going to see the bump here from the chase camera. There's the offset bump like Keselowski gave to Austin Cindric earlier today.
Yep, all offset bump and drove it up just a little bit. So that's enough to send that thing sharp left. There was nothing EJ Luna could have done on that one there. Once that contact was made and it was pushed up on that, you see Emmerich gets into it. All of Team Whatchamacallit in there. At least 2 drivers from Grim Reaper Motorsports. JJ McCoy got a little piece of it, but I think Bobby Mantle got the worst end of that one there by just rear impacting the 78. There wasn't anything John Howard could have done. He was just trying to woe that thing down.
Yep. That's it. And well, I'm gonna kick it back here. I got some trucks to count, Dustin. I had a bet for a minus 150 at 5 trucks or more, and yeah, there was 5 trucks involved in that one. So that's the only time I can bet and actually win money is when it's fake money and it's not actually for anything. So I wish I could turn that luck into the real world betting. But you know.
So how much nerdy how much nerdy bucks did you just win?
You know, I put in like $10, so I don't know. Do you think that gets me a does it give me a birthday celebration call out on Tuesday?
You know what? I think it definitely does. I think it definitely does.
We'll take it. That's good. That's all I need. I don't need money.
Yeah, we'll get something nice planned for you for your birthday on Tuesday. We'll figure something out. But Jeremy, this shakes things up.
Does it now?
Yeah, well, I mean it's typical Talladega. So Danny White right now is at the point leading this after the offset bump given to his teammate that kind of spearheaded all the festivities that just took place for our first Boomer Button Box caution. Anthony Emmerich is second right now. You see the only 2 people that really didn't get anything as far as Grim Reaper Motorsports in that one there. JJ McCoy, Chad McGinley, they're sitting 3rd and 4th right now. Brody Marinko found himself. So this actually helps out. This is a huge help for One of One Motorsports. Remember, they were so far off the pace that they were in a completely different zip code after what had taken place. So this helps them out because now Marinko and Slade, Wheeldon, and Ghostin are all moved up. They're all caught up with the pack. This gives them a chance now at trying to nab a victory tonight, or at least getting the best possible finish for those that are in the playoffs right now. So we'll have to see what's going on. We know Clayton White kind of had a little bit in that one as well. His truck looks good though. But he is towards the tail end of that one there, Jeremy. So he did come down pit road, did repair some. So there's a number of these trucks we do not know how they are actually going to handle and what the damage is going to do to slow them down. So it's gonna be a wild card at the wild card track on some of these trucks right now once the green flag drops.
It is going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun. 10 laps to go. Everyone's stacked up again. For the most part, they're with their teammates, but the greens are kind of separated from one another. Everybody else has found their partners, minus Danny White up front all by himself. So we'll have to see how that plays out for the 64. Does he get pushed out of the way? Does he get collected? Does he get adopted by another team and help them progress? Who knows? That's what the fun and beauty thing is here. Is you never know with a super speedway how these things end up. You know, Danny White's good at these tracks, and he's kind of like the Ricky Stenhouse there on the NASCAR side. So it might not be a bad pick to go with him.
It might not. It might not at all. And right now he is the horse leading the Lone Star Racing stable. Yes, I did that on purpose, Jeremy. That was just for you, my friend. So we'll have to see what goes on. The good thing is collectively, Jeremy, there's no teams really lined up behind him until you get back to Wheeldon and Ghostin back there fourth and fifth in line on that inside lane. So these drivers now are going to be in that mindset that they're out there to try to get the best finish for themselves at this point.
We're going to find out here what exactly is going on. Pace truck down, green flag out, 10 laps to go for the No Biggie Big One 225. We've had one 5-truck incident. Do we get another, or do we stay green? Get the aerial coverage here from the blimp. As you see the Wonder Bread truck, 14 Clayton White saying, hey guys, let's go. But nope, he's going to get washed to the back. So good night for the next few laps for the 14. Anthony Emmerich on the top, getting good help from Chad McGinley in the 65-12. Joshua Slade, first time Joshua's been inside almost the top 5. 64 leading with the 22, 54, 77, 25. Those are the 5 numbers on the inside lane. Through 3 and 4, Anthony Emmerich has a good chance to lead this lap.
Yeah, he's got some good pushers behind him. We know that McGinley and Slade can push, but I tell you what, JJ McCoy has been pushing the crap out of the 64 of Danny White, and you see right now that Marinko jumped from the inside lane to the outside lane. That's why it closed some gaps there. Now Emmerich is going to drop down to the inside. That's going to allow Chad McGinley to go to the top side and to the point from help from Joshua Slade as he's pushing like there's no tomorrow on that top side.
Pushing and pushing. It's what you got to do here. As the fast truck, 65 leading the way. Don't know what Joshua Slade looks like up here. He's now going to lead the pack for the first time tonight on the outside. Him and Marinko are going to try to do something here. This team has been trying, Dustin, this entire race, 77 laps, to get to where they are at now. And now they have to shine. What can they do on the outside? At the line, they're going to side draft. The 64 is going to put the 12 at an almost dead tie. Puts them P4 this time. Can they do it, Dustin? Can they make the speed that they've not found all race long?
And it looks like they are doing just that right now. The 12 is Slade. Looks like he has got a half a truck length. Looks like he's got the 65 cleared. He's going to drop down in front of the 65 of McGinley. Now McGinley's got to push the 12 of Slade. Remember, Slade was the one that pushed McGinley up there to that spot. So now they kind of flip-flop both on that inside lane. And now that opens up. Oh!
No.
99 Austin McGill in the wall. Looked like, JJ McCoy around. We got another accident. No caution.
Wow.
No
caution?
How was that not a caution? iRacing stewards, what are you doing? 4 wide there. And this all started when the 99 and 14 went to make a move to the outside of Brody Marinko, and Marinko went for the block, and that's what ultimately put the 99 in the wall that set up this 4 wide situation. And they're still, look at that, they're still 3 wide, still trying to go. Steve Knight gives Clayton White a bump to get him up to speed. How that was not a caution, I have no idea, Jeremy.
I have zero idea either. That's just the flagman must have been eating an ice cream sandwich off of the flag stand to say, hey, I don't want to throw this yellow flag. That's just all right. Well, that should have been a caution. But either way, here we go. We're still green flag. We got what we got here. We got 7 trucks in the main pack. Joshua Slade leading the bottom. Danny White leading the top. Well, he was. Marinko's going to shaft him to the outside. 3 wide for the race lead. 54 Marinko then is going to push 64 up the track a little bit more. This wasn't very nice of him. Now he's going to lead the charge here. 1 of 1 top and bottom. But the 65 or 23 can jump out anytime.
Yeah, they really could. And like you said, 54 Marinko really trying some power moves here. That was risque on that, especially at the speeds they're pulling. So we'll have to see what happens right now. 54 leading the top side. Slade leading the bottom. That is 1 of 1 on both lanes right now. Danny White giving the back bumper of Marinko everything that Jack Daniels truck has in store. And you know it is because you see that 54 get a little wobble from time to time. So Danny White trying everything he can to get clear of Slade to see if he can't jump down to that bottom side. But right now, that bottom lane still holding strong, Jeremy.
Yeah, they're holding strong, but the 24 not going to move out of the way. They're going to have to go around him on the outside.
No.
Squeezing the gap there. 3 wide, 2 wide. We're clear. But I like this. The 54 made a questionable call, and now look at him. 1 of 1 Motorsports, 1 and 2. Does not matter which lane leads it to the final lap. 1 of 1 Motorsports is in the place to win this race. So, got 4 laps to go. 1 of 1, first and second. Then Grim Reaper on the bottom. Lone Star on the top. That's row 2. Then you have Team whatchamacallit with a 23 and third. But look at this, Dustin. On this camera, you see everybody else closing it in. It might not just be a 6-truck race. It could be a 10 or 15-truck race. We still have plenty of time.
Yeah, they're trying everything they can, Jeremy, but laps are gonna be winding down. There's your difference from Pack 1 to Pack 2. Actually, this is Pack 3. Pack 2 is getting ready to catch the main group. So it's going to be tough, Jeremy, on what's going to happen. Right now you see Brad Miner closing in, but look at who's in that second pack, though. So up until now, we had Anthony Emmerich being the only Team whatchamacallit driver, just like Chad McGinley's the only Grim Reaper Motorsports driver up there. But that second pack closing in has Austin McGill in it and John Howard. So that's 3 whatchamacallits. And then you also have Justin LeBlanc coming in. That's another Lone Star. So, Jeremy, the team camaraderie could be coming into play here very quick.
If Brody wants to keep 1 of 1 up in the top 2 spots, he's going to have to throttle the top lane. There's just so much speed up there. Danny White on the backstretch had a moment to where he could have cut across Joshua Slade's nose and led the inside. So it's a little bit of a very, I don't know what to call it, but it's going to be a tough race here if they want to lead the top and bottom. Right now they're doing a great job. 2 laps to go.
I tell you what, if Brody Marinko keeps leaving that middle line open as much as what he is, somebody is going to put their nose in that spot. He lifts and drifts up and leaves about 1.5 lanes or more on that middle lane. And now you see it goes 3 wide, Jeremy. Ooh. So this is going to get crazy.
I said Danny White's good at these things. Look at him. He's going to bring his teammates to the top. We've seen a couple teams try to do this prior to no success. Oh, Danny White almost got hooked by his teammate, EJ. He cuts down. He's going to leave his teammates behind. Oh, there he goes. Brody hooks Danny White for a 360 Cyclone. Cautions out for the second time, just a straightaway before the white flag. They're going to have to regroup and back up for some overtime here for the Boomer Button Box's caution. And it was just go time and not enough give, plenty of take. Brody's going to turn Danny White in turn 4.
Yeah, and that was set up as it was going. That was just, so you see it right here. It was a bump from the 24 of Luna. Right there, it was a bump and scuff, and that got the 64 out of funk. So he went down to the other line there. He's still trying to gather it back up. Again, this is at full speed, and then it almost looks like there was another scuff there. So right now, the 64 is in there. There is no room for the 54 right now. Absolutely no room. And just wallops him right in the kisser.
Wallops him in the kisser. There's your sentence of the night. And it's going to destroy the 46 of Miner, who just got to the pack here. Here's Brody Marinko's Oakley visor cam. He sees the cut up. He sees the cut back down. He's just going to just drive right into the left rear quarter panel.
He didn't lift.
Effort to squeeze the little gap that could have possibly, I don't know if they could have, but he could have maybe forced it, but he just drove right into that left rear.
Oh, yeah. Didn't even lift. RPMs didn't even change. Everything was on the line. He just drove her straight in.
100% here. We're going to take a couple laps under caution and then come back for a green-white checker. Dustin, this gives me a great time to shout out partners that don't have a commercial with us. We've already been through a couple. I got 2 more on that list. First one, Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles, the official hobby shop for the Nerditudes. So if you're looking for a shop to up your nerdum collection, whether it be comic books, action figures, NASCAR diecast, collectible trading cards, Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles has it all. And that is dustypete's.com. Promotion code is going to be Super Nerd. It's going to save you 15% off your online purchase of $20 or more. Once again, dustypete's.com. And then the other one I need to shout out, Victory Fuel. They have Purple Potion out. That's by far my favorite drink out of the lineup. And they also released some hats, some rope hats too. So they got some swag as well for their stuff. So with a cool logo, little fire coming out the L and fuel, and then out the top there next to the V and Victory. Pretty neat stuff from Victory Fuel. So pick up a 4-pack or a 12-pack today by heading to drinkvictory.com. And of course, that promotion code does not change. Super Nerd. It's going to save you 10%.
Yeah, great partners that we have here at Nerditudes and Nerd TV. Love shouting them out. Love working with them. It's always a pleasure. But Jeremy, this is going to get crazy now. So we have just literally a handful of laps. That's it. Nothing more. And we had some drivers that come down pit road. I would imagine some damage got fixed. But Jeremy, we know that usually, especially at these plate tracks, cautions breed cautions. And with every driver wanting to try to get everything they can out of these last few laps, this could get hairy real fast.
Hairy? It's possible. It's quite possible it gets very hairy. In a hurry. You're going to see maybe the first half lap, they're going to build up the storm by the time they get back to the front straightaway. It is just... It might be complete mayhem. So we'll find out there. As they got one more lap before the green flag. And toss-up. I don't know who's going to do what here. We got some damage to a couple of these trucks inside the top 10 after the couple wrecks. So who knows, man? It's up for grabs. All I know is the people that are watching, 18 viewers right now, they're in for a treat.
21 viewers, my man. 21. And we appreciate each and every one of you beautiful individuals that have tuned in and are watching live. And for those that tuned in earlier and may not be watching live or maybe watching back on video on demand, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Love and respect to everyone. Hopefully it's going to be a good race finish for you folks tonight.
And speaking of viewers, I think you went live on Twitch for the first time in quite some time. So
We did.
YouTube, yeah, YouTube is our primary. It's been our foundation, and then we've had Facebook, which brings in a couple extra viewers. Michelle Rittenberry was one of the first ones to be our routine on Facebook for a while, but then Twitch momentarily had a lapse of judgment and said, "Hey, we're gonna not allow you to promote any of your partners on our platform." So then we said, okay, well, no, we can't do that to our buddies. So we backed out of that. They reversed it. It took us a little bit, but now we're back on Twitch. So if you're a Twitch fan and not a YouTube fan, join us over there at Twitch. So Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Back to the trifecta.
Back to the trifecta indeed. So again, I appreciate everybody watching. And Jeremy, you better hold on tight. This is going to be a good one. We got two cats that are well versed in running and racing each other for wins. That being the 12 of Slade, the 65 of McGinley. But we got a lot of hungry drivers waiting in the wings right now. Anything from probably third on back is in the catbird seat in my book there, Jeremy.
Someone's going to get a great view of something. Someone's going to get the bad end of the stick, short end of the stick, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. We're going to see how the 12 and the 65 get the restarts done. And 2 laps to go. Green flag is out. This thing is underway. Unlimited restart. Actually, you know what? This might be the only green flag, or green-white checkered. I don't see the number of how many, so maybe it's unlimited. Who knows? But here we go. The 23 is going to get a little bit of help from the 79, but the 1265 are going to lead the charge on the inside. Shane Wheeldon is going to be clear if he wants to jump to the second groove. He's going to do so just like that. Gives him a solid chance for Lazy Lizard to pick up the trophy. Oh, but never mind. Back to the 23 team. Whatchamacallit? quickly leaves him in the dust, gave him just enough room to do so. Quickly drops him back 4 wide. In turn
4
three.
wide. Woo-hoo-hoo. That didn't last long. They brought that back in real quick, Jeremy, but they're still scrambling back there as it sits now. Right now, Anthony Emmerich, help from his teammate of Clayton White, pushing on that top side. Jeremy, this is, again, probably the best push that they have as they cross the line. Elevated Esports Racing, 1 to go. Anthony Emmerich on the high side. Joshua Slade on the inside. It is 3 on 4. It's solidly as it sits right now as Brody Marinko is now behind the 14. What is going to happen? Oh, contact 79. Is he sideways?
Crash.
Big crash. In the back, JJ McCoy involved, Stephen Knight involved. That's going to slow everything up, but right now that race is still going on that top side, Jeremy. Top side is slowing up. Joshua Slade has got the run. He's got the push from the 65 of McGinley. Side by side for P2 as they come off of turn 4. They still have the tri-oval. Start-finish line isn't until pit road exit. Again, Slade still holding it right now. Strong, big push from McGinley. And it's going to be Joshua Slade taking the win.
Anthony Emmerich second, Chad McGinley. He's your top 3 after that. Pretty chaotic final restart here. Green-white checkered attempt did not disappoint for the viewers.
We got to go back to that that crash to see what happened.
Yeah, 2 Grim Reapers. Stephen Knight again for another wild ride. Try to save it. Could not do it this time. Takes JJ McCoy, Shane Wheeldon with him for a 3-truck wreck.
Oh, we got to go back though.
Luna too.
So that started with the 79.
Yeah, 79. Bad bump. Then the 89, it looks like, sets him offset. He's going to chase it around for a while, then finally tag 64, goes back down the track and comes back up once more.
Yeah, right in front of Bobby Mantle, and then you just see wall and then impact. It pops the 79's rear end way up top. You see the 22 is getting it. 22 still getting pushed from the 22 still getting pushed from the 77. That's going to send him around 2 tires up off the ground. And then just chaos ensues. Everybody trying to get around. Not the night for those 2 drivers at all.
Your race winner, guaranteed to not hit the wall during a burnout.
Out of gas.
Fuel. Look at that. Timed it perfectly for 1 green-white checkered attempt. Ran out halfway down the back straightaway on the cool-down lap. And he's going to get big help from his teammate Brody Marinko. So this will be your images for the post-race right here. Teamwork, even after the race is over. And here's your unofficial results for tonight's No Biggie Big 1-2-25. Joshua Slade, P1, Anthony Emmerich, second, Chad McGinley, third, Clayton White, fourth, John Howard, fifth, Brody Marinko, sixth, Austin McGillen, seventh, Danny White finishes in eighth, ninth place, Abram Ghostin, 10th, Bobby Mantle, 11th, Patrick Gentner, 12th, Shane Wheeldon, 13th, Stephen Knight, 14th, and your last truck on the lead lap, JJ McCoy, 15th, Ron Harrington, 16th, EJ Luna, 17th, Justin LeBlanc, 18th, Bradley Miner, and Ronald Holmes rounds out the 19 trucks. Couple of fails in the points. Justin LeBlanc looks like he goes from in to out. See Bradley Miner in the 46. I think he's going to be okay, even though he finished 18th when he was in 4th in points. We'll have to see. Keep up to date on the Discord side for points. But Dustin, we got to go full screen. We got to thank some sponsors and get our top 3 together at the same token. So we will be right back. And this is the Martin Sports post-race show. We got our top 3. We got some interviews to do. Chad McGinley is the first one to be pulled in here.
Push
Chad, sorry to cut your
Yo,
conversation there, but
you're good.
it's a good thing though. That means you made podium. So congrats on P3. This race was kind of a little mix of everything. So kind of just walk us through the teamwork that was planned tonight, and how many different audibles did you have to call?
Nothing too crazy. I mean, obviously with Q, our main goal was try to get Steve in the pole, and obviously that didn't work because McCoy beat him early, and then Clayton obviously ended up beating Steven, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway if JJ didn't get the memo. But we that was our goal, was get him, try to get him a point lead, get him safe, and then just kind of ride. And we rode for a little bit, and all chaos kind of happened and a couple wrecks, and just kind of all separated after that.
Yeah, I mean it's super speedway, right? So it's hard to tell someone to go, hey, we're gonna go caution free. Don't push any issues for 85 laps without one person trying to do something different to plan. So things happen, cautions do happen here, and that's at least the wrecks weren't like too crazy. From your perspective, though, did you feel like you had the truck to bring home a top 3 tonight, or were you just kind of taking this race as like I'm just gonna see what happens kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I could have got Slater on that last restart. I probably could have pulled a move, but I mean, he helped me at Atlanta, so figured I'd just stick with him and push him all the way and get him a win. That way we're on good terms going to the next round. No beef, no nothing. So with everybody, with Bobby and Steven and JJ getting damaged, I mean, that was really my only option, was either push Slade and, try to get a top 3, at least get some good points moving on. And then, or make a move and possibly get wrecked or finish 10th or 11th. So just with the safe route, push Slade all the way to the win.
There you go. I love it. No, we've got beef segment for Chad McGinley, Dustin. Sorry about that. But Chad P3 nonetheless, great job. Any final shouts before we let you go tonight?
I just appreciate all the time that we put in this week. Didn't run a whole bunch, but we did run a lot of officials. Got some good experience, and just obviously didn't work out in our favor. But thanks to you guys, always put on a good show. It's always nice to hang out and just watch it, skim through the fun parts and the boring parts, whatever, and get to the final and hear you guys broadcast the win and go through the interviews. It's always a good show. And obviously, thanks to Global for putting it on. On to
Appreciate
Vegas
all the
now.
words. Yep, on to Vegas. Time to roll some dice with the next round of the playoffs. So good luck out there, and we'll catch you next Sunday.
Yep, sounds good, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Yes, sir. No, it's Chad McGillian in the 65. Now it's time to bring in someone we don't talk too often. AE Racing cheering on Anthony Emmerich. Anthony, what's up, man?
Howdy.
P2 tonight. Strong performance out there. How was the truck? First off, you and Team Whatchamacallit just ran a almost picture perfect race up until the cautions came out. What was the call before the race on how to stick together?
We were just wanting to stretch our fuel out as long as we could and try to keep us out and all together, and it seemed to go our way until caution started flying. But we still somehow managed to stay together there at the end.
Yeah, it didn't matter what the situation was. 2 wide, 3 wide, pit stops, everything in between, and for the most part, the green spoilers were able to stick together the best. So whatever you guys did, just continue to work on that. That's some good stuff. But you're the little spoiler, man. You're the only truck in the top 5 not in the playoffs, and just put on a strong run out there tonight. Is this something that we're going to see a little bit more of the 23 truck in the top 5 and being some interview potential down the road?
Hopefully that's the plan. I love playing playoff spoiler. Always fun getting wins. I was really hoping for that win tonight, but I'll take a P2 all day, every day.
So I have a question. A serious question. Do you finally know what to do with your hands?
Yes, I know what to do with my hands now.
Well, your driving definitely showed it, my man. Congratulations on P2 for sure.
Thank you.
Nice job, Dustin. Nice job kicking in there and asking the most serious questions out of all of them. I'm glad you were there to help me with that. But final shout outs before we let you go, Anthony.
Yeah, just thank everybody here at Team Whatchamacallit for a good, strong team performance here. Thank Clay for the opportunity and look forward to doing it every week.
All right, man. Well, hopefully we can ride some momentum. We'll maybe talk to you next week from Las Vegas. But enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you, you guys too.
Will do. Thank you. That was Anthony Emmerich, the 23 from Team Whatchamacallit.
I do what I do with what I can do, my man.
I'm glad you're there to save me sometimes because I don't know how to ask the right questions, and you're there on the money with those nerdy bucks and just making it happen. So, that being said, though, we're gonna talk to a man we've talked to for a while. I've dressed up for this man on camera. You know him, Joshua Slade, P1 in the 12th truck. Josh, you ran out of gas a half a lap after the checker flag. Timed it oh so well.
Yeah. We were coming close to the wire there, but we were able to pull it out.
You did. The team kind of struggled for a little bit. Not gonna lie, at least from our viewpoint, the first half of the race, you tried the outside lane multiple times, no help really up there, and you kind of tucked back in, and until the caution, for the most part, you just couldn't get the team like stuck in the top 10 really well. So was the cautions really what you needed, or was it one of those lag back strategies and go for it toward the end?
The caution was definitely 100,000% what we needed, man. We were out of it. We knew we were gonna get one because we knew they were gonna probably race hard. We didn't execute that well on our pit stops. We had some troubles. Bradley had some troubles with the speeding penalty. We had some trouble with taking tires, missing our pit box. So just we didn't really practice that much this week, so it definitely showed. But we were yeah, and luckily I was just able to come away with the win. So fortunate enough.
Yeah, I was really curious how the truck was going to perform once we saw you in the top 3 and 4, and then at one point you had Brody Marinko running the top of the leading the pack on the top lane. So it was either driver from top or bottom was going to be one of one motorsports, and then you got shifted out of position on that. So it's cool to see. Of all the strategies, you guys just pick up on just sheer luck and able to pull out a win. So congratulations on that. But it's on to the next round of playoffs. How you feeling for the next few races?
What do we got? Let's see.
Vegas.
I know next week is gonna be Vegas, so that's gonna be a very, very fun racetrack. Hopefully, it's gonna be different from last year when I was literally racing Grim Reaper, 1v4 or 1v5. So hopefully it'll be a little bit different than that with the new trucks. But it should be fun, just put in a lot of practice because we have a lot of fast guys in this league, and this is not a league where you can just come in and race and win without any practice. Like you actually gonna have to put in the times when it comes to these speedways and short tracks. So these guys are hitting the top IR qual times each week when they come in here. So you definitely have to practice. So hopefully I can put in a lot of practice this week and have a good performance next week.
It's not an easy schedule. Las Vegas, Iowa, Homestead, Martinsville, a little bit of everything there. So good luck to you for the next round. And any final thoughts before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, want to shout out Reaper Speed Labs as usual. Always making pretty good sets, really good sets, I should say. Shout out One of One Motorsports and all the guys. We all practice really hard. And tonight wasn't really a good night for us, but we will be back. Not Brody, but Ghostin and Minor were both able to make it to the next round, so we're happy about that. And then a special shout out to Mr. McGinley. He repaid a debt back from Atlanta, so I appreciate that. And now you're gonna see some good racing from us battling it out for the next round. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, special shout out to McGinley for that.
Yeah, he actually recalled that in his interview.
He
said he
definitely
owed it
did.
to you, and he followed up with it. So it's kind of cool to see that months later. But congrats, man. We'll catch you in Iowa next Sunday, or Vegas rather.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right,
You guys
man.
have a nice one.
You too.
And shout out y'all. I'm sorry. Shout out to y'all in the booth. I'm sorry.
There we are.
because y'all put on a great broadcast and everyone watching at home. So
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
no problem.
And there's the number 12, Joshua Slade, getting us a last minute shout out there. Pretty cool to hear and see. Justin, that was Talladega. Pretty fun race, a little bit of everything. I enjoyed myself there in that one. That was pretty cool.
It was. It was a good race. I mean, we seen it go, caution free until like the last 26 laps. I mean, and then that's when the boomer button box caution started falling. I mean, that was fantastic. I mean, it's a good showing, especially for almost 20 trucks on the track, racing as hard as what they were. We always talk about the camaraderie. You know, you heard it from McGinley. He was dedicated to pushing Slade. We're paying him back from Atlanta, and Slade knew and understood that. I mean, you heard it in both of their interviews. So it's always cool to see stuff like that happen. The racing was good. You're always going to have those wrecks and those bumps gone bad and those split-second moments where you have to try to make a decision and you literally have a split second to either go left or right and things just don't happen. That's plate racing, Jeremy. That's why we always call it a wild card. It's always going to be a wild card for us. But overall, these guys put on a hell of a show. And I want to shout out everybody that was watching, all the viewers that tuned in, each and every one of you guys and gals. Thank you guys so much. From all of us over here at Nerd Tues and Nerd TV, much appreciated, and look forward to that in future shows. Because again, we are coming back next season, Jeremy.
That we will, and I am looking forward to it. These guys have shown us nothing but love, and I'm excited. All right, man. Well, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Scott Martin's gonna take it from here. We will see you on my birthday in 2 days from the RSR Next Generation Cup Series. Then after that, I'm going to put myself into a bunker and storm out a Category 3 hurricane. And then, we'll see you next Sunday from good old Las Vegas, Dustin's favorite track. Don't let him tell you different. He always ends his seasons at Las Vegas if he is running a league. So.
I do, because you got to gamble it all in Vegas, man. Best place to gamble it. Just saying.
They're going to gamble it in the second round of the playoffs here. So... Not the last one. Maybe next year. Maybe you can talk him into it. Who knows?
Maybe. Can't save them all, Hasselhoff. Can't save them all.
And with that quote, here you go, Scott. Take it over. Have a good night, guys. Get your nerd on.
This presentation is brought to you in part by
Martin Sports. Get the apparel, look stylish, be badass with apparel from Martin Sports. martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag. Must-have flag marshaling system for any aspiring sim racer. Get yours today at iracingiflag.com. Boomer button boxes. Total sim control at your fingertips. boomerbuttonboxes.com. If you race hard, then you need to rock hard.
And no station gets you harder than
iRock935.com. If you're a collector and that's your game, then Dusty Pete's, that's the name. DustyPete's.com.
Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue, we fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter, there were times when there was joy, but they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Well, Shine